The views expressed during this program does not necessarily represent those of really any sane person with a brain. Listening to this program may actually kill brainwaves and make you dumber than you may already be. Listener discretion is advised. Really, because this show sucks to begin with.
Ho, ho, ho to you, my friend.
And ho, ho, ho to you.
It is our Christmas spectacular.
Christmas Eve celebration. Who can think of a better way to spend it than with
the Fantasy Fat Guys?
Exactly. I'm Porterhouse.
I am Bill Powers. How are you?
It's a thin slice of heaven to talk to both of you today. And,
Absolutely. Hey,
we hope we help you get to the finals. That's really the goal.
The two of you know where to find us. Apparently, the rest of the world. The problem is the difficulty in finding us. I think it is. It has nothing to do with the content and the fact that we really suck.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
Once the word gets out of who and where we are, wow, forget about it. Heaven on earth. But anyway, wherever you find podcasts, you get it. Actually, I'll tell a story because nobody listens. Do you remember a gentleman we used to work with, Harlan?
Yeah, of course, Harlan Freeman.
So he put something up on Facebook. He was all excited that his podcast was going to be on iHeartRadio now. And that, he phrased it with like, the very first station I ever walked into was Z100. So everybody thinks like his show's on Z100. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, and everybody's like, oh, way to go. Congratulations. Way to go, Harlow. I'm thinking to myself, it just takes a little bit of time, but iHeartRadio will put anything on.
I mean, didn't he have a Joe Rogan mention on that too, or something like that? If I remember correctly,
I don't remember
on his little post on Facebook. It was like something with Joe Rogan, and I was just like, maybe this is bigger than I realize. And then when it comes down, we're on iHeart.
Yeah, one of the funniest things that I find funny with all this stuff.
You find most things funny.
Oh, yeah. Me and you being in the radio business, so we kind of know what it takes to do certain things. When you see these people who get like a podcast or an internet radio show and they get all excited that, oh, I'm on the radio. No, you're not. You're just a loser who can't get a real job.
So now you have a podcast because you were not hireable by anybody else in radio. Congratulations.
And here we are.
We have the same thing, but we have other jobs. We don't call this our own job.
Then you do, yes.
If this had to pay the bills, we'd be broke.
That's right.
Our wives would have left, and our kids wouldn't know us. Anyway,
I guess
we move on.
Fantasy Fat Guys, this is turning to bash everybody, the Christmas edition. Then yesterday, I was goofing around. I was gonna go, like on Facebook, it says so-and-so's on Cameo. So I decided to read stuff. And some of the people that are on Cameo, like friends of ours, I'm not going to use names.
Okay.
Extra. And it's like, oh, I'm on Cameo. Who the F cares?
Thank goodness.
Who are you?
It's like when I get that update on my phone that somebody's live now. I'm like, I don't care. They're just showing me 40 seconds of a song at a concert I'm not at.
Right.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Really don't care.
Make me feel like crap about myself because I'm not where you are. Not that I really
don't care. I don't want to be where you are. I like being on my couch. I'm good at it.
If
we all have skills, that's fine.
If sitting on a couch was a hobby, I'm the best.
If it was an Olympic sport, I'd medal
every time. Congratulations, by the way. So anyway, and by the way, with this Cameo crap, I don't even like watching like 90 Day Fiance. Why the fuck would I want these people to wish me a Merry Christmas?
I'm with you. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. So anyway, welcome to the Fantasy.
Exactly. And this is how we welcome you. And we are going to talk football today because there was a game last night, which we couldn't help you with because we couldn't get together till today. But
hold on, I got
there were a couple other things that I know you want to talk. Oh, a big phone call.
Can I call you back? Yeah, I did, but can I call you right back? Because I'm in the middle of a podcast. Bye. That was my sister, who now is famous. She's going to put on her post how she's on the Fantasy Fat Guys.
It's outstanding. So at 4 minutes and 10 seconds or so, we'll just have to.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Leave it in. It makes it fun. None of our listeners are going to be offended.
Right. I'll get my sister to sign a waiver so that she can't
as long as she does know that we're going to use her.
Right.
Both her likeness, if we feel like it, even though it's only audio.
Right.
and her voice.
Right.
And we want to make sure she's aware of this.
Very much aware of this. So, what would you like to do? Because you started talking football right off the bat. So,
I think there was a couple stories that you wanted to touch on. So let's go around, and then we'll come back to the football.
NFL is a big story, obviously, and they're pretty much the only ones who are playing right now. I guess the NBA is still playing too. So
yeah, but we don't watch it that much because you know who's going to win before the game starts. Not like the NFL, you don't, but at least there's a surprise, right. Like the Lions beating the Cardinals. Every now and again.
Wow, I like it. But the NHL is now suspended at least through Christmas because of the COVID situation. But
you do realize that they're going to be back on Monday. It's not like it's that crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, basically they get Christmas off. Congratulations.
It is Christmas, and they never really play on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day in hockey, right? They play NBA. Right. They claim that to be their day, but there's 2 NFL games, which will mean that I will not have to endure the stupidity of the NBA.
Correct. I'm in the same boat. Very excited by that. But hockey and also once hockey resumes, they're not going to do the cross-border stuff. They're going to be starting to put off the American versus Canadian NHL games a little bit.
Well, that's going to throw off certain divisions a little bit, and it's going to make it a little bit exciting. But yeah, I mean, and also the Olympics as well. They will not be playing the Olympics because they have to make up the games during that 3-week period.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, we were talking about it last week.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do before you even decided you were going to bring them. Who gives a crap? Send the kids, let them get some, let people see them play around the world, and and stay here and play your hockey games like you're supposed to.
I mean, it's the right thing, but the cross-border stuff is interesting because the league already started with cross-border, and now you're going to halfway through it. It's going to be it's going to be very, very unlevel, basically. How the season goes for a lot of teams. It's a little strange.
It's going to be amazing.
At the very least,
hockey is a winter sport, yet everybody's going to be in Canada in the spring.
Pretty much. And, I mean, the Canadian government is much more on the lockdown than the American government. Not that the Americans aren't, but not that we're not somewhat locked down.
Right.
But the Canadians are even softer than we are.
Right.
So there we are. Except the hockey players. They don't seem soft. Yeah, and they're pretty good spirited. Guys like Dylan Larkin. I know you had a story you wanted to share with everybody.
Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings.
Yes.
I guess it was about a week ago, whoever they were playing the New York Islanders. They were in Detroit. And they were during the warm-ups, he took a shot on net. I think he was goofing around because he scored, and he jumped up against the boards. Somebody had their beer right on the boards and he spilled the beer everywhere. So you can see the guy, you can see Larkin sitting there talking. He goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He happened to be mic'd up that night too. So then he skates to the bench, goes to the bench guy who the locker room attendant. And he's like, hey, do you have $20 on you? And he's like, yeah, why? He goes, I just spilt that guy's beer. I feel bad. Can you go give him $20?
The fact that only hockey players would do this.
Right. And he went and bought the guy another beer. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's classy. It's the right thing to do.
Right. Everybody else, LeBron would say, I don't give a crud.
Shouldn't have been. I want those 2 people thrown out because they insulted me.
Right. They should have had their beer in their hand when I'm trying to play basketball and not watching me. So,
and they should refer to me as King James from this day forward. It's a little bit different. Listen, I know there are good athletes in all the sports, but it just seems that hockey seems to have the most genuinity of guys that just seem like regular guys when they're playing.
Genuinity?
I'm using my own words.
You know what? And I got to say, you could say whatever you want, but I think the hockey players are the toughest athletes in professional sports. I mean, these guys, well, I guess boxers are getting the crap kicked out of you, but these guys get 19 stitches across their forehead and come right back out 30 seconds after the stitches are done.
Favorite story, Steve Larmer, former Ranger, obviously, as you know, but he was also a Blackhawk when he started. Mm-hmm. First shift, takes a puck to the mouth, loses, I think, 9 teeth, doesn't miss a shift.
Incredible.
Just tells you the story of these guys. They want to play. And
here's another incredible thing. They lose all their teeth. We know that as far as professional athletes, and soccer is not professional athletes. You're running after a ball. It's a 1-0.
They do run a lot. They are out there. They don't get to sub. They don't get to sit much, but there is some downtime. And I usually like a sport where something happens. But anyway, we move on.
Right. Ooh, it's all exciting. 0-0. Number one, it's 0-0.
Doesn't get any more sweeter than that.
Yeah, it's 2 zeros. It's not nil. So anyway, you know, I find it funny that the hockey players who probably need the most money for dental work are the ones who are paid the least.
Yeah, it's the way it works.
Like a paycheck, one paycheck. Larmer's first paycheck was gone if he wanted to get implants.
No doubt about it. It was young. It was before they had to wear shields. You know, it was actually back then. Most of the guys weren't even wearing helmets, or at least half and half at that time.
Right.
You know, they would just take the puck to the head.
And why not?
Geniuses. And then the other guys, when they started wearing helmets, there was those few guys that refused.
Right.
No, I still want to take pucks to the head. If they get concussions back then, you can only imagine how many some of these guys had.
Barry Beck and what the hell is his name? Mike. He does the NBA play-by-play, you know, the NHL show. What the hell's his name? Damn it. I suck at this sports talk thing.
What are you talking about? I don't even know where you're trying to go. Otherwise, that would help.
The guy who does the NHL, the pretty controversial, he was the Islanders coach, Mike.
Mike Milbury.
Mike Milbury, thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
Milbury and Barry Beck, two guys who refused to wear helmets.
Rod Langway. I mean, there was a bunch of guys that just wouldn't do it.
Right, which was pretty funny.
And back then, if you look at goalies, they didn't have nearly the amount of equipment. They got fucking hurt.
Oh, dude, it's amazing watching like Gump Worsley taking a puck to the face, and then he's back. You know, he stays right there. I mean, he was an ugly son of a bitch, but these guys are like
scariest moment in hockey. Clint Malarchuk taking the skate to the jugular.
Yeah,
he started bleeding out on the ice.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the Clint Malarchuk. That was scary, by the way. Yeah. Then they made it mandatory to have that little thing hanging down to try to. It's movable, but it tries to protect your neck a little bit. My God,
that $2 piece of plastic might save your life.
Well, Clint was saved, but wow, bleeding out on the ice is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, but you look at the sports right now, and the Dylan Larkin story is great, and the hockey going across border. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the schedule on that.
Yeah.
You know, college basketball, which I'm a fan of, you're not really a huge fan of, but a lot of games are being suspended and stuff like that. And basically, you know, I get it. You know, the whole COVID thing, I've had it. You know, you've had it in your family as well, and now this version seems to be a cold. They're saying. I hope that's correct. I really do. But if there's one that I hope the majority catches because it's most contagious, I hope it's this one because this is the one that seems to be the lightest. So you just don't want anyone to perish because of this, you know.
Listen, everybody's doing it, so get yourself some Omicron.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, listen, if you have a cold for a week, you're going to be okay. You can have some antibodies, and the world's a better place.
Santa is bringing everybody Omicron this Christmas.
You know, I mean, you know, people sitting home, I got the sniffles. All right, you know, good for you.
Yeah. Good for you.
You know what happens every December? You get the fucking sniffles. But now you're contagious with it. You were contagious then, too. We just didn't make a big deal about it.
Now you've got very contagious sniffles.
Yes, the cold is being passed around everywhere. So let's cancel everything if we can.
Cancel everything. Cancel culture.
Cancel culture is already there. But, you know, apparently the amount of things I say inappropriately that my daughter corrects me on a daily basis means I will not fit in with cancel culture as I get out into the world, which is ridiculous.
No. Someday when you grow up, you're going to be in trouble.
I mean, the thing is that I feel like I'm saying things nicely and I'm told I'm not. So I'm like, wow, I really suck. I thought I was pretty good at this. I really suck. Okay.
You really do.
I'm trying to be polite. Didn't work out. But anyway, be that as it may, you and I are both in the semifinals. We both won last week. Not against each other. So there's still a chance of the dream matchup.
Yeah, two of the dumbest guys in football are in the semifinals, baby.
The funniest thing for me is I had beaten Gino by Sunday, and I had two guys going on Tuesday. I was tempted just to bench Goddard and Cup anyway.
Just as
had monster games both, but I was like, nah, I don't even have to play them, but I did. You know, I was like, only thing can hurt me is like, you know, a fumble and an injury right away from each player. Otherwise, I was going to win. So, but I played him. But it was, Gino did not have a good week, so it made it easy. He had Kyler Murray, who decided not to play very well against Detroit. So